Experiential learning escape rooms are purpose-built learning experiences where the process of solving is the pedagogy. The puzzle is the learning. But how do you get your institution to understand, support, and fund one? We help faculty, instructional designers, and academic leaders create experiential learning escape rooms where students practice real skills. So, if you've got an idea for an escape room, how do you get your institution to buy in? Well, what does your institution care about? How about effective learning? Consider the skills and competencies that you would like learners to develop, as well as the content knowledge. Perhaps your learning purpose is something like statistics. We're designing a stats escape room at the moment. And you start with the broad purpose of increasing students' confidence and competence with statistics, but then you have to get super specific about the skills that you want them to develop in the escape room, saying, I want them to understand statistics, or I want to improve their decision-making under uncertainty. It's a great starting point and often enough for a pitch, but ultimately you'll need to get more specific. Say, we want students to be able to perform a z-scale transformation on a normal distribution and understand what that means. So, competencies, skills, content knowledge, good to start there. In addition to your specific learning purpose, there are aspects of this particular pedagogical approach that will help you make the learning effective as well as make the case for funding it. So, let's look at the intersection of experiential learning, running out of space here, and escape rooms. So this intersection right here is where you want to be operating. And that's because by leveraging the combined benefits of experiential learning and escape rooms, you draw on research. There's lots of research on experiential learning, on gameful design, and the benefits for student engagement and knowledge transfer. We have experiential design. So this is learning by doing. And there are learner engagement strategies. So along with gameful learning, we have learner engagement. One benefit of escape rooms is you can create situations that are relevant to the student learning, that are engaging, and that are narratively driven. So let's add narrative-driven play and contextualized. And then, just to make this extra clear, we're going to note that this is not a gimmick, and it's not just a pretty quiz. Those are two questions that you might get. So pointing back to research and to experiential design can help you answer questions like, why couldn't this just be a quiz? One last thing that's important to get on here, you can design experiential learning escape rooms that are observable, that are measurable. So we create ways to observe student learning. So this includes things like summative assessments, formative assessments, it's playtime, it's decision choices, it's retries, it's the debrief, the metacognition, the thinking about thinking. So all of this observability helps us make the case for this as a legitimate, academically credible learning experience. So experiential learning escape rooms blend research-backed design with narrative-driven play to create learning by doing experiences that are observable, engaging, and relevant. As a useful starting point, grab the escape room idea check in the description. It'll help you assess if your idea is rigorous, relevant, and worth course time before you go to the trouble of pitching it or building it. Now, what else does your institution care about? How about various institutional priorities? So let's get that on the map. Effective learning is hopefully one of your institution's priorities, but how about demonstrating relevance or effectiveness of education? How about workforce relevance? This could be things like graduate attributes or future skills. And you could build a graduate attribute or future skill directly into the escape room as one of your learning purposes. For example, we designed a maritime logistics escape room where one of the learning purposes was helping students develop their skill and their comfort in making decisions under uncertainty. So, alongside the forecasting and data literacy skills, we also cultivated students' ability to make decisions under uncertainty as one of the core learning priorities of the escape room. Okay, what else? Perhaps research and publication is a priority of your institution, or say teaching and learning innovation. Perhaps your institution prioritizes using EdTech, either new technology or technology that already exists. Perhaps there's a tool that's underutilized by staff and faculty at your institution, and your institution wants to encourage people to use this particular tool more. Maybe you could build an escape room in it. Excuse me while I stop a cat from drinking my coffee. And then there's, say, using university resources well, being a good financial steward. So we're going to put feasibility down here as a big consideration, but also reusability. So is this funding that you're requesting for a one-off escape room? This is Quill, by the way. Or is what you're creating going to be reusable either in your course or in other contexts within the university? So speaking about feasibility, think about what it will actually take to get it done. So time, funding, subject matter expertise, as well as escape room design and build know-how. Maybe there's some tech involved as well, but know that it's optional. You don't need specialized tech in order to create an experiential learning escape room. Now, you may also want to consider what the minimum resources would be to create this escape room, as well as what you could do or would like to do if you had more resources available. So a sort of spectrum of options. Think about where funding for similar projects comes from at your institution. Not necessarily other escape rooms, though perhaps there have been some, but teaching and learning innovation projects, curriculum development, research projects even. You can build research directly into your escape room design process. Finally, think about how you're going to get the escape room actually created once you have the funding. So this goes along with know-how. Are you going to DIY? Designing experiential learning escape rooms is absolutely a learnable skill. Are you going to bring in some help? Or are you going to partner with the design team? All three are viable options, and I talk through it in more depth in this video.